Whoa. Hey everyone, this is Living Dead Gal, and welcome back to another Sims 4 video. This is the next video in the Realistic Townie Makeover series. So today we are making over Darrel Charm, as you can see here. I am kind of finishing up the rest of the Sims that came with the Glimmerbrook pack. So if you do not have, that came in Glimmerbrook with the Realm of Magic pack. So if you do not have Realm of Magic and you don't know Darrel, he is one of the spellcasters that lives with his mother, sister, and his fiance. So I already have done his mother and his sister, his mother Minerva and his sister Gemma, and I am going to be doing Amelia Ernest, his fiance, next. So for Darrel, I kind of was a little bit conflicted about how I wanted to style him. So before I dive into that, we'll talk about that a little bit more when I actually give him like his clothes and his attire. But as far as his personality and his backstory, he's a pre-made spellcaster who resides in Glimmerbrook. He lives with, as I said, Minerva and Gemma and his fiance. I mentioned this when I did the Townie Makeover of Tomax Collette. He actually has a negative relationship with Tomax, so I'm not sure what the drama is there, but there's something between those two. And he doesn't have, there's not like too much other information. On like the Sims wiki, I found that his career is an office assistant. So I guess he's kind of like working into like the business side of things, but he is a snob, a bookworm, and he is hot-headed, and his aspiration is to find his soulmate, which it looks like he has, considering he's engaged to Amelia. But basically, when I was styling him, one of the most challenging things was to kind of find a hair for him that I felt, I'm doing like alpha hair to kind of have this realistic look. So I was trying to find an alpha version that would match his Maxis Match hair. And I've struggled with this, I think, for pretty much every member of the Charm family, because they all have like really, really unique hairstyles, and it's been pretty difficult to find an alpha version that would match, and especially with male framed hairs, there's not as many options as there are for female framed. So I was struggling a lot, and then I eventually found this one by Wings that I popped on him, and I just ended up having to give him like a little hairline. Something about like Darrel's forehead, the hair that I had didn't want to fit on him correctly for some reason. So I don't know if it's just like because he's got like such like a strong like facial feature and such like a strong forehead that it just like it was clipping with a lot of my CC hair. But ultimately when I just went in and gave him a hairline, it was able to kind of work with this hair, and I thought this worked for him because it's a little bit lengthier. It's the right color. And I liked the like messier strands, and I kind of end up going for a really unique vibe for him. I was struggling at first when I was picking out his clothes, because as I start kind of with his style and adding a few accessories, I did give him tattoos, which I've been doing with pretty much all of the spellcasters because it just seems fitting. And something about the way that Darrel is styled in-game, he's got like that like edgier vibe, but not completely, not all the way. And it doesn't fully fit his personality traits, so I wanted to give him a tiny bit of edge, almost like an emo kind of vibe to him, because when I was looking at how he's styled from Maxis, he actually has eyeliner in pretty much all of his outfits, so I definitely wanted to make sure I gave him his eyeliner, and then that kind of led me down the train of like, let me give him, a sleeve, and then let me also give him some black nail polish and some ear piercings. So I ended up giving him like the little spike earrings, and then I do end up giving him some black nail polish because, like I said, I kind of went down like a slightly emo route with him. It just seemed fitting for him. I think like him being hot-headed, snobby, and a bookworm, he's not like completely emo, so I also end up kind of going, you'll see when I actually put like the clothes on him, he kind of gets like this combo of like a preppy emo, I guess like hipstery kind of vibe. So it's kind of weird. I'm like mixing a bunch of different styles together, but I feel like Darrel's kind of a mixed bag when it comes to his traits. And so I wanted to kind of dress him, I wanted to like keep that edge that I could see in his Maxis look, but I also wanted to give him something that felt like refined, as far as sort of the snobby trait, even kind of like going with the bookworm. And I mean, that's, again, I'm stereotyping, you know, that's not how we are in real life. You know, there's so many people who like books, and it has nothing to do with how you dress or how you look. But, you know, in Sims, it's kind of your starting off point. So, yeah, with his style, I definitely went for sort of a weird hybrid thing. Lots of like sweater types of clothing, but also, in this sort of like more hipstery, more emo kind of vibe. So yeah, I guess I made him a hipster, emo, preppy dude. But I had a lot of fun with Darrel. You know, there's not a lot of backstory on him. I was thinking back from when I did the vampires, I had a lot more to go on as far as the lore, compared with some of the Glimmerbrook characters, particularly, I mean, the sages, there's a lot of information, but there's not a whole lot of lore when it comes to the Charm family. But I do find them interesting, and I've always really liked having them in my game, and I had a really good time just, you know, styling Darrel and giving him this sort of more realistic vibe about him. I didn't change any of his facial features or anything like that, or his body. I just, you know, added some skin details, and I tried to stick true to what he had. Like, he had some freckles on his nose, so I kept those, and he did have like a small like 5 o'clock shadow, so I gave him a tiny bit of a beard. But you know, I really tried to stick true to his character and then sort of bring out what style I could gather from his very strange Maxis clothes, because I don't think when Maxis releases it, I don't think they necessarily style all of the different clothes. So like, he's wearing the same shirt multiple times. So I just kind of tried to bring my own idea to the table of how he would dress, and kind of get an idea in my head of how his character would be. So that's enough of me rambling. We're nearing the end, so this is a shorter one, but if you enjoyed this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and it will let me know that you would like to see more of these Townie makeovers. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you are having a very, very wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed. I get the wine and the corkscrew. You don't have to do one single thing. You don't know how much I want you. Just looking at you makes my whole world spin. You don't have to wake up yet. We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon. Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone. Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon. Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food.